early on in the first half. And Ginny, when you're in the run of form that Arsenal are in, it doesn't really matter how you win, just that you manage to get over the line.
Yeah, especially when you're feeling you're coming off the back of the results that you have had. You just want to get those 3 points. It doesn't matter, like you said, how the goal goes in, how you win the game. It's just so important that you get those 3 points, and that's what they'll be taking away from today. And I think the substitutes were impressive as well, made a difference. So I think it's just an important result for us today.
Chance of their own.
So lots to analyse and discuss and dissect for our pundits, but it's a victory for Arsenal, get themselves back on track in the WSL at least. Full time at the Emirates, Arsenal 1, Brighton 0.
Robin, Gilly, thank you very much. Well, a win is a win, and it's a big 3 points for Arsenal. They needed it. The Emirates has erupted. It was quiet at stages, but they are just happy to see their team get their first win in over a month. Farrah Williams, how do you sum up today's game?
Yeah, I think it's a big 3 points for Arsenal today. I think coming off the back of some of the results and performances Arsenal have had, this is big for them today. You can see in their celebrations what it means. I felt like they still, in today's performance, still gave up possession in areas that allowed Brighton into the game. But overall, they got the goal, the crucial goal that was needed, and they got the 3 points. So I think they've got to look at the positives. I think for Don Stella, I think a much improved performance, a more assertive performance from her, which probably helped Arsenal settle into the game.
What do you think will be being said in this huddle by Arsenal right now, Anita?
I think there's going to be a lot of relief among the team, you know, because today was about getting the 3 points. For me, obviously, still an unconvincing kind of performance from them, but it's now the foundation that they can build upon when they've got important fixtures coming up, especially their Champions League game midweek this week. So they needed that win. That's something they can improve upon, and you know, they're still dominating the ball. It's about how efficient can they be.
You can see Renee Slagers giving maybe some words of encouragement. It's time to push on now for Arsenal in the WSL. Okay, let's bring you today's other results that happened in the WSL. Well, Manchester United came from behind to beat Everton 4-1. Chelsea's win keeps them top of the WSL and still unbeaten. It's the third win for the Lionesses in the WSL. It ended 0-0 between Villa and Leicester, and the Liverpool v Manchester City is coming up at 4:45. Okay, and this is what it means for the table. The win for Arsenal today means that Brighton do not leapfrog them in the table. They stay in 7th. Arsenal sit in 5th on 11 points. And the reigning champions, like I mentioned before, Chelsea remain top on 16 points. Okay, let's get straight over to Joe Curry, who's with the player of the match.
Well, definitely congratulations. That must feel like 3 very big points.
Yeah, I think after our last period, we're so happy what we showed today. I feel like we all were there as a team together. We showed determination to go and yeah, keep the 0, keep the clean sheet, and I think we're really happy with those 3 points.
What do you think about the club's title ambitions? How badly did you need this win?
I mean, we want to win every game, and that's our standard. And of course, every point is what we need. So being able to win the 3 points is something we're really happy for.
Brighton made you work for it, but in the second half you had so many chances. Is there a frustration that you didn't score more today?
Of course, I think we were so close to score that goal, and I feel like we were pushing. We showed that we were one team today, so unfortunately it didn't happen, but we protected that 1-0 lead, so I'm proud of that.
In that second half, you pulled off a sensational save against Carmacho. How much did you know about it in the moment?
I was happy. I saw it coming out. I was like, okay, I have to save this, and yeah, I felt good today. So that showed me that I could save that one. So I'm happy about that one.
Will you be watching that one back tonight?
Maybe.
I think you should. Honestly, it's a cracker. Look, congratulations, you're the Barclays Player of the Match. Well done.
Thank you so much.
So for Manchester City.
It's great to see some smiles from Damson. Van Domston into this game, there was a lot of scrutiny around her, some of the mistakes that she's made across the WSL with the Champions League, Farah. But this is why Arsenal signed her, because she is a great goalkeeper. Maybe this will now give her that confidence back.
Exactly that, and we spoke about how important she was to the success of Arsenal last season in the Champions League, and you know, in that semi-final when they didn't have her, how much they missed her, but she hasn't started the season in the same way. She has made a few errors that have led to goals or certainly big chances against them, but today you can say she's had a clean performance, clean sheet, no errors from her, and she was very dominant, which I think really helps settle your back line and the players around you.
And I suppose, Anita, ultimately it is a team game, so sometimes an individual gets highlighted, but there's a number of errors before that actual one.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, it's about the best players recover quickly, and Van Domsler has shown that she has the mentality and the resilience to step in between the sticks and still put on a good performance despite the criticism, despite not having consistent performances. And ultimately it is a team game, and you know, it kind of can bounce off and feed onto others, but now this is a positive run for them to go on and develop and push on.
Well, I'll tell you what, shall we show her some more love and show the great save that she made in the second half? I suppose Brighton's biggest chance as well, Farah.
Camacho highlighted there, and it's one of them that she's used the pace of the delivery into the box to just glance her header. It's going away from goal. This is a fantastic fingertip save. This is a great angle to see it from full stretch. The manager should get just a finger on it, which was enough to just take it around the post, but a fantastic save and, you know, a great sign of agility to get there.
It was a great end to the game as well, in terms of Brighton trying to go for it, and Arsenal had big chances at the end. But let's take ourselves back to the first half, how Arsenal went on to get the win with the goal that they did, Anita.
Yeah, Arsenal started the game brightly with some energy and intensity, and in the end, you know, it was a turnover from Brighton as they tried to build their attack. Here you see Ford make the interception, and suddenly they're on their way. Smith is on a back shoulder, and Olislaga's body shape just gets it all wrong, allows Smith that opportunity to try and put a cross in, and a heavy deflection which sends the ball goalwards. And
a tough one to take as a defender when you look and you've scored an own goal. There's nowhere to hide.
Exactly, especially because Brighton were largely very organised and quite disciplined, and it's just one of those things that sometimes you create your own luck because they had the momentum going forward, and she did try to put a ball in the box, and then you know the risks or the chances of you getting an opportunity are high.
Arsenal had a lot of chances leading before that goal, and you were sitting there thinking, is it going to be one of those days for Arsenal? And then they got that little bit of luck, and you thought they're going to go on from this. And it took 34 minutes before they created another chance. So, yeah, a little bit frustrating from Arsenal's point of view, because I felt they dominated that opening 20 minutes. But once they got that goal, they were a bit quiet, and they didn't create as many chances. So lucky they had that little bit of luck today.
That's what you say. You
to settle herself down to execute in front of goals. So
why do you feel that is?
I guess it's because they're not scoring. We've mentioned before how many chances they're creating and just not having that composure. I feel like when you create a lot of chances and not many go in, you lose a little bit of confidence, and then you start to rush things, and you can see Arsenal are quite rushy in that final third. There's no real connection, no real composure.
Nita, when you look at the Brighton side, is there positives that they can take from today's game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they showed that in transition where they could counter-attack. They tried to execute the game plan to the best of their ability, and Fran Kirby, I thought, was brilliant in those central areas to try and feed those, get the momentum going forward, and that relationship with Kiko Seke, but I just think that they missed a little bit of cutting edge as well in the box.
And I suppose for Arsenal it doesn't stop, Farah, because yes, they've got a win here, but then their attention quickly changes now to Champions League.
Yeah, definitely. They'll take confidence from today. I think certainly in terms of errors in their defending third, they reduced them, which is an improvement from what we've seen in recent games. They've obviously scored in a clean sheet, so there's lots of positives to take from the game. I still think they're not as convincing as we've seen, certainly towards the back end of last season. But they need to find a consistent 11 to try and build on those connections and performances, because I feel like keep changing the team. I reckon again in midweek they're going to change certainly the wide players. Maybe that's why Chloe Kelly and Beth Mead, but I don't really think that helped momentum with the team.
Okay, well, we will see. Nita, Farah, thank you very much for joining me. We hope you enjoyed today's game. We are taking a break from the WSL, but we will be back in 2 weeks' time, and you can stick right here for more football coming your way on BBC Two.